Hey, here's Racket Debugging episode 12, number 2, where I show you how to write a good check with function. So when we last left our heroes, we were trying to figure out what was wrong. We have 3 pieces to our struct. We have a list, a posin, which is the apple location, and LD, which might be the length. I don't know, but it's anyway. First one's a list of posins. Second one is a posin. Third one is a number. So let's check. First thing, is the variable actually an SN? That's the first thing that could go wrong. Now let's check. Is SNL actually a list? Is SNAP actually a posin? And is SNLD actually a number? So that'll cover each one of these 3 things getting corrupted. And then we want to check that the SNL is actually a list of posins. So I'll make a separate function, list of posins, posin y's, and I'll just write a regular conditional. Empty means true, and then if the first thing is a posin, then we want to keep checking. That's the recursion. And otherwise, this would be the case where the first is not a posin. That would be false. And if you're smart, you write checks for this because you want to make sure you got it right. So list of posin list should be true. And then, well, you know this is going to work, but you really should be in the habit of checking your work a little bit to avoid the issues. So I can't tell you how many people have issues with this code, and it's not because you're a bad programmer, it's just because you have to be more careful than you want to be. And I'm checking my parentheses here. So, and fixing them. Okay, so now I have checks for 3 things that are lists of posins, and then I suppose we should also check where some of them are not posins, which would be things like false or what if maybe the problem is the second one. Okay, so now I've got checks for my list of posins. I'm actually pretty confident that my good SN function actually does work. So, I mean, I'll run it to prove it to you, but I'm confident. Okay, all the tests passed. Great. And so now when we go up and we run this big bang, and without anything here, but I make it good SN for the check with, we should immediately have our issue flagged. So I'm going to run it, and now you'll see that the check with catches the mistake right away as soon as it happens. Oops, good SN is used before its definition. My bad. Let me move the big bang to the end, and we'll try again. Aha, yes. So now we got the scene pops up and check with tick returned blah 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 with the cons, which fails to pass check with's good SN test. So caught it right away. It's the tick handler's fault. So that's the next demonstration of how to write a good model function that will tell you the first time you mess up your model.